Welcome everyone to where we are putting together solutions for those mathematics and science topics we are getting problems with. Today we will be looking at algebra and specifically expanding brackets. This is our second video in this mini-series, so feel free to subscribe or like the video in the description down below, or post which topic that you may need help in so we can make a video for you. To make full use of this video, let's remember the multiplication and division of directed numbers, especially with regards to same signs that we must add them, or if the signs are different then we have to subtract. And also expanding brackets of one linear expression as we did in video 1. So if we're having problems we can click now and go back and take a look at part 1 and then come back to here. This brings us to our first example on expanding brackets. And remember, when we're expanding the brackets, it means to multiply and remove the brackets. So our question says 5 times 3 squares plus 2 circles plus 8 times 4 squares minus a circle. The one circle, the one is understood there. So how do we do this? We put little curves here up above. In order to remember, we have to multiply. So it is equal to 5 times 3 squares plus 5 times 2 circles. Now what we're doing here is we're working the left hand side as far as we can go, and then we'll move to the right hand side. So 5 times 3 squares will be equal to 15 squares, and the 5 2's are 10 circles. Now these are two different variables, so we will have to move on to the right hand side. So we put the curves again, and that will give us 8 times 4 squares minus 8 times 1 circle. So that is equal to 32 squares minus 8 ones are 8 circles. Now we have 4 terms here, 2 of which are squares and 2 of them are circles. So we can rearrange them and simplify. So we can put the squares together and that will give us 15 squares plus 32 squares. And that works out to be 47 squares. And similarly, we can put the circles together and that will give us 10 circles minus 8 circles, which is equal to 2 circles. Therefore, we have solved our question. Thus, expanding brackets individually, then rearrange them and simplify. We will now look at the same example using the area method. So remember, expanding the brackets means to multiply, and our question was 5 times 3 squares plus 2 circles plus 8 times 4 squares minus a circle. So if you remember this, we work it as if it is the area of a rectangle. As such, we're multiplying both of them so it looks like length times breadth. So we will take the breadth here as 5, and we will take the length of the rectangle, the first one, to be 3 squares plus 2 circles. So when we actually multiply this, so its length times breadth will give us the area. 5 3's are 15 squares, and 5 times 2 would be 10 circles. Now similarly, we're going to multiply the 8 times the 4 squares and the 8 times the circle, which means 2 more rectangles. And we take the width as 8, and we take the length of the first rectangle to be 4 squares minus a circle. So when we multiply to find the area of the rectangle, length times breadth, 8 times 4 is equal to 32 squares. And 8 times a circle will be 8 circles. Remember the sign, there's a positive 8 and a negative circle. So two different signs means that the answer will be negative. Now that we have these 4 terms, then we can put them together. 15 squares plus 10 circles from the first 2 rectangles, and 32 squares minus 8 circles from the second 2 rectangles. And we can rearrange and simplify just as we did before. And that will give us 15 squares plus 32 squares plus 10 circles minus 8 circles. And we complete the question here. Therefore, we can expand brackets using the area method, then rearrange and simplify. We now do a second example of expanding the brackets. And remember, that means to remove brackets. So the question states minus 5 times 2x minus 4y plus 8 times 0.5x minus y. And we show multiplication by putting curves there, and we'll be multiplying minus 5 times 2x. Notice that we did not put an x or multiplication sign, but we put a point. So this shows that there is multiplication taking place, but there aren't too many x's to confuse students. So that will give us 5 2s are 10x, and we have a negative and a positive too. So the two different signs means the takeaway. And then we have 5 4s are 20y, and that's plus 20y because of the two negative signs. And now we can't do anything else because those are two different variables. So we go to the top right hand side and do multiplication there. So we put the curves to show that, and then we say 8 times 0.5x minus 8 times y. And that will give us 4x minus 8y. Now if we look at this line, we have four terms. Two of them have x's in them and two of them have y's. So we will put the x's together by rearranging and then simplifying. So we get minus 10x plus 4x plus 20y minus 8y. And we solve the question writing minus 6x plus 12y. So we were able to expand brackets by doing them individually, then rearranging the terms and simplifying. We now use the area method to work out the second example. So remember expanding the brackets, and this was the question, minus 5 times 2x minus 4y plus 8 times 0.5x minus y. So if we look at the first question there, that is a multiplication, and we're going to use the area method where we put two rectangles because there's two multiplications. So we use minus 5 on the left hand side and use the length of the rectangle to be 2x minus 4y for the length of the second rectangle. So that what will happen is when we use an area of a rectangle, which is length times breadth, then we will say minus 5 times 2x, and that will give us minus 10x. And then when we multiply for the area of the second rectangle, 5 4s are 20y, and we have a negative here and another negative. So two same signs will mean that we will add. So we will get plus 20y. Now we're going to do the second set of multiplication here. So we're going to add two more rectangles, and we're going to use 8 on the left hand side and 0.5x at the base minus y. So when we multiply 8 times 0.5x, 0.5 is a half, so a half of 8 is equal to 4x, and 8 times y is equal to minus 8y. So now we have the four terms, minus 10x plus 20y from the first two rectangles, and plus 4x minus 8y from the second two rectangles. So we have four terms, two of which are x's and two of which are y's. So we can rearrange and simplify just as we did previously. That will give us minus 10x plus 4x plus 20y minus 8y. And we solve by writing minus 6x plus 12y. Therefore, we expanded the brackets using the area method, then rearranged and simplified. We now have an exercise of 4 questions to practice expanding the brackets. We should now pause the video and solve these 4 questions. And when we're finished solving them, restart the video and look on the next slide to see the solution. The solutions for the first 2 questions are shown as follows, where the first question, it works out to be 26x plus 60, and the second question works out to be 1 plus 4y. And the solution for the other 2 questions are for 34s squared t minus 27st, and for number 4, the solution is 32 minus 52w plus 60w squared. Thank you for joining us with our part 2 video, and feel free to hit the link and go on to part 3, where we will be expanding and simplifying two polynomials using 3 different methods. Don't forget to add in the comments if you need any help in any particular topic so we can make a video for you, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.